Hi all, Hal here with more Empyrion, Galactic Survival. And yeah, we're on a rescue mission. So what happened was I built the station. I put up just the platform down, and right after we signed off last time, the ship that I was starting to build had a violent reaction to the gravity of the station. Basically what that means is, it's about 1.5 kilometers away from the station now. So after a bit of maneuvering, I was able to eventually get the thing to stop. So now we're just trying to get over to it to, basically rescue it. It was rather annoying because of the fact that the way that things happened. Oops. Basically the ship... Come on. Where are we at? There we go. Yeah, so basically the ship bounced off of the... even though it wasn't moving, it just kind of bounced off of the station. And, so it went hurtling into deep space. It was an interesting experience. One I do not recommend trying at home. Let's see here. What we're going to do, let's put the RCS here. I'm probably going to end up moving most of this stuff out anyway. This is really just to get it in a position so that I can actually maneuver the ship around. We are going to do... because we have to have a pusher, so let's go... let's take this one out. Alright, so we've got one there. We are going to do the same on the side, and as you can see, the ship took a hell of a beating. Basically, I had to take the turtle and force basically to keep ramming this one until I got it to stop. So that's why I was saying when you're going to build these things, you really need to be careful with it, because the game is not necessarily the most intelligent thing. The coding for it is wonky, to say the least. Alright, so... alright, so that gives us 3 directions. So I will recommend that one of the first things you do is put the RCS on it. Put the thrusters where you want them. We're actually going to do this one a little bit different, because these are where the retro thrusters are going to go in when it's finished. So, and then from here we just one up, and come on, you can do it. One down. Okay. So now we have directions in each control, right? Or control in each direction. Okay. So what we're going to do now is turn that off so I can see what I'm doing. Alright, and let's make sure we are not going to run into the Viper. Yeah, I just brought the little ship up because of the position that everything ended up in. I really didn't want to run the risk of losing turtle. Whoa, this is maneuverable. For a CV, this has got some serious maneuverability. Now we just need to find... there it is. So yeah, basically what we're doing is we're just going to fly this thing back to the temporary base area. It's got a lot of power on it, so But yeah, it actually handles pretty well for a carrier. Or I should say for a capital ship. So once we get it there, I made some landing gear and some other things. You know, eventually I'll get around to putting these things in. But what I want to do right now is just get this thing back to where we can now go. Alright. So now we have to go back and get our ship. So this is going to be a long, long flight. Okay. And with my luck, you know what's going to happen is I'm going to get too close to the planet, hit a gravity well, and get sucked down to the planet and die. So yeah, this was an interesting way to hit the middle of the week. So, hopefully this does not mean, you know, the rest of this weekend and going into the weekend is going to be quite the same. I'm severely hoping not. But yeah, so it's going to be a while. Going for a nice spacewalk. So I've got about another kilometer to go before I'm in range of my ship. Oh man. So this is one of the hazards of building in deep space. I'm starting to think maybe what I should have done is just go ahead and let it go. And just start it over. But we'll see how it plays out. I've got plenty of food, plenty of oxygen. Can even fire a couple of rounds off here. Alright. So it should be somewhere around here, right? Comes the fun part of trying to find a ship in deep space. What we're looking for is just something that isn't moving against the rest of the background. See, I think the radar is actually lying to me. Yep, radar is lying to me. So I believe that is it. Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, see, radar lied to me. So this is what I normally have to deal with when I'm not recording. So, yeah. The developers do need to do a little bit of work with some of the logic in here. The game itself is a lot of fun, but it's just the little annoyance factors like this where you're trying to do things the way they tell you to do them, and you get penalized by the system. So we're getting there, though. Yeah, don't ask me how I knew that was my ship. I just was looking for a dot. So, yay. Almost there. Only about a kilometer and just under a kilometer and a quarter to go, right? Yeah. So hopefully everybody else is having a better week than I am today. Oh man, it's been a fairly nice week for here in the Bay Area. Really enjoying it. Weather's a little bit more on the warm side than what I personally like, but it's not as bad as it was. We're not hitting the high 90s and low hundreds this time, so. But it would be nice to have some AC around this place. So, man, Sorry, I may end up doing is just doing a cutaway and coming back once we've got the shipping back to the base. So I think that's what I'm going to do. We'll be right back. And we're back. Sorry about that. Alright, so yeah, I was able to recover the ship. As you can see, put the thrusters on, everything's working fine. Yay! Oh, it's been one of those days. Okay, so what we're going to do here is actually, come on, let me do it. It will sometimes let you put a block over the core, and that's what I want. Alright, so what I'm going to end up doing here is we're put one on either side. So let's see where we are here. Because what we're going to end up doing is we're going to put an elevator in. Right there. Alright, just making sure it didn't get flung out into deep space again. So what we're trying to do is we're going to have the ship basically quartered off. So this one, like, actually, let's get back on top and I'll show you the logic here. Alright, so as you can see, we have the food processing on one side. We have the tools and manufacturing on another side. And then what we'll do is we'll put a residential and habitation area on this side. There we go. So what will end up happening is that when you come down through here, there will be a wall here separating them. And then we're going to put another couple of entrances on this edge. I need to go check to see what we have up there for space, and then we'll put some elevators on, and yeah, just we'll make it work. What I may need to do is relocate some things. So there's going to be a ramp here to take you up into the command pod. There was going to be another flight controls on this platform, and then again with another ramp coming up, and then the third constructor will be here. When you are walking around, there's actually enough room here to walk between these, which is nice, so you'll be able to get around to the major sections of the ship very quickly, and then be able to take the elevators down into the lower areas. I'm not sure what the final outside, the shell of this thing is going to look like. This was really just I needed something with some walls on it to keep from drifting away while I was working. And now that it's built and in place, like I said, a lot of this will probably get relocated. What I'd like to do is to have this be the main engineering and controls area. So you'll have some of the flight systems, you'll have the power supply, and then like the crafting and manufacturing area up here. And then we'll have an area for, say, environmental, where we'll end up with a couple of the oxygen tanks, and we'll have a med bay where we'll have the med healer and, excuse me, those types of things. So, yeah, that's the general concept for the ship. And I may actually, I don't know, this may be the big build that I do for the weekend, show you some of the footage on that. But otherwise, I do think I'm just going to go ahead and call this one here, make this a short episode. I hope everybody enjoyed it. If you did enjoy the episode, make sure you hit that like button on your way out. If you haven't done so already, you may want to consider subscribing just to be kept up to date when I go live on either YouTube or Twitch, as well as when we update any of the content on YouTube. And if you have any comments or questions, suggestions, whatever, there's a comment section below every video. Go ahead and use it. That's what it's there for. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there.